lose it, Georgie. Mill's gonna kill you.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another Texas Chain Saw Massacre video. I'm IAnthonyD, and it's good to see you. Listen, the biggest and most terrifying map has been announced and is on its way. It seems, sadly, our victim's path of the Texas Chain Saw Massacre will cross the mill, the newest map revealed in the recent community dev stream for the Texas Chain Saw Massacre.
Oh, there's a map. There's a new map.
Whoa,
Ladies and gentlemen,
boom, right
jumping
into
right into the mill.
This is this is a screenshot. You know, basically still in development. Visuals not final.
Yeah, very much still in. We haven't done our beauty pass and things like that yet on this. But the reason why we wanted to show you this is just to give you an idea of how different this is compared to every other map we have in the game. This game has far more verticality than you've experienced yet in Texas Chain Saw Massacre. There's actually 4 playable levels of verticality in this, from basement, mid floor, second floor, third floor, and then you also have a dry creek bed that once you get down in that, like the depth of that versus the height of this, of the tippy top playable space, is pretty significant. It's nothing like you've played so far.
The mill is described as an abandoned sawmill. They go into detail on how the focus of this map is its height and verticality rather than how large scale the overall size of the map is. Unfortunately, we don't have too much of a look of the map, only one photo here, which makes it a bit hard to see just how crazy this map actually is. We do get a look at what appears to be a second pressure tank used in the valve escape, but not a clear look of any gates. We also do get to see a radio that Danny uses for his knowledge. It does seem that we get to see a little bit of the back side of the map here that could possibly be used for either the battery or gen escape. If I had to guess, the actual sawmill building would be the center of the map, which means likely the basement that our victims spawn in is directly underneath it. Victims, once escaping the basement, would find themselves in the mill and would have to escape either the front or back, which would lead to different sides of the map hosting different escapes. In the past community dev stream, they actually talked about using different unique escape methods. And since the mill is nothing like we've seen before, I do think it's likely we get our first new escape method on this map. An abandoned sawmill is very dangerous. We're talking about a place that has giant saw blades. Maybe the possibility of a new environmental kill could happen. Hopefully we can throw Leland onto some sort of giant saw used for cutting down big ass trees. It does kind of seem that this map might actually be a bit smaller than it might lead on.
Being a cook player and being up a bit, or really anything, and being up a bit. And being
Line of sight is different with this.
Right,
And, yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That line of sight works vertically versus having to count on long distances. So, it definitely changes the way you play. It changes the way you evade the family, and it changes the way you hunt on the family side.
Yeah.
It's also just a really cool map.
With Matt talking about how different it will be to play as cook and track victims who are below you rather than across the map, which could be very interesting in playstyles, which also makes sense when they bring up the wells and windows being a big deal. Rather than escaping left or right, you would avoid the family by going up or down. And then, interesting enough, they do go on to hint that wells working differently on this map.
Well, we do have time left to get mill ready. You know, obviously there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
There are some elements of it that I want to note. There's some interesting well usage.
Oh.
And I'm not going to go any further now because I want to leave some surprises, but there's some really cool well usage.
Yeah.
And we're finding that through the verticality because we have those multiple floors to play with. And window jumping. We know everybody's a big fan of window jumping. There's some interesting window jumping too.
Indeed.
There's also a whole section of the map that I think is going to be, fans are really going to love. And again, it's going to change. We're going to see some of those changes. And hopefully now, you know, this being the first like cork out of the bottle moment, hopefully now, you know, maybe the next time you see the mill, it'll be a slightly more detailed teaser of it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I have no idea what they could be talking about here. I tried to Google different things about sawmills to get an idea of what it could lead to, and I came up with nothing. So I ask you, do you have any ideas of how the wells could work on this map? Comment down below and we can talk about it. But there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, subscribe with notifications set to all. If you like what I do here and you want to support, become a member of Slasher Gang. And always remember the rules to survive. Don't do drugs, don't have sex, and yeah, don't die.
You gotta have a secret. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. These days, there are certain rules. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. You gotta have a secret. You can never have sex. Everybody dies. drugs. Everybody dies. Everybody